Namaste, yogis. Welcome to your practice. I'm Carter, and today is a 20-minute yin practice that takes care of the lower back. The props you may need is a block, a bolster, a blanket, or pillow. Get that? I'll see you on your mat. All right, yogis, let's start on our backs. You're going to need your block, bolster, or maybe a few like really thick books. And what we're going to do is a supported bridge pose. And I want you to ease into this pose. So start on our back. Knees are bent. Feet are about hips distance apart. And then we're going to press through the feet and we're going to lift the hips up. And we're going to take whatever support you have and we're going to slide it underneath the lower sacrum. And when I say lower sacrum, think about your waistband, like if you had a belt on, and you don't want to go any higher on the back than that. So you don't want to be on the lower back. So you want to be on the bony parts of the hip. So the hips rest onto whatever support you have. And it doesn't have to be that high. It could be just a few blankets rolled up and it's nice and soft, or it could be really high. If you have a block, you could go as high as the block is and rest the hips on. It's a little high for me, and maybe halfway down feels pretty good. So once you get supported with the hips, you have a lot of options with the legs. So the first option would be you just stay right here with bent knees, feet on the floor, draw the chin down a little bit, maybe even squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit so you can get comfortable on the shoulders and soften. Micro adjustments could be knees fall in towards one another as you separate the feet, and you may feel a little external rotation of the lower back. You could do the opposite. You can bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop open wide for a little bit more through the groins and creases of the hips. You could also walk your feet forward, maybe even straightening the knees as you soften here. So find the variation that's working for you. Your hands could be on the belly, chest, or they could swivel up by the side body. They can open up nice and wide like wings, or they can extend your arms up over your head to soften a little bit through the neck and upper back. So find your position, and once you are there, you are gently relaxing the lower back. And I say gently because for a lot of us, if we just completely surrender, the back kind of seizes up a little bit. So I want to give ourselves some time. And again, this is a yin practice, so we're here for some time. So while you're here, if you're feeling like it becomes too much, modify in a way that supports the lower back. So I don't necessarily need you to stay in a painful position ever. So the difference would be maybe sensation that's a little bit more intense. But before we get out of the intensity, we breathe, we soften, we see if it ebbs and flows with the body or with the breath. And then give yourself a moment to continue to soften here. How we are managing it is we are allowing the breath pattern to deepen, to slow down, and to soften at the same time. So big, slow inhalations, exhalations. In the breath pattern, it could be ujjayi breathing if you're up for that. So a lot of focus where you close down the throat and there's a subtle whisper of the inhalation, exhalation. But for me, in my yin practice, I am gently relaxing the breath pattern and softening the jaw. Again, there's a lot of variations in the practice. Make sure you do the ones that nurture and support healing within the body. As you relax and soften, bring your awareness to where the sensation moves and how the sensation may intensify or release. Eyes can be opened or closed. And we're slowly releasing the grip on whatever we're holding on to, which for a lot of us, we hold on to a ton, right? Controlling the day, trying to control other people or situations, and that becomes problematic. Not only are we allowing our body to unwind, this stillness within practice allows the mind to slow down a bit, which for myself, it is the biggest challenge. You can probably tell by all my talking. We have about another minute or so. So if the sensation again is getting a little too much, and how you can tell is if you're starting to like fidget or your breath pattern becomes a little bit choppy or shallow, again, take care of yourself. If you need to do less or reduce the height of the support, do that. Or if you need to come out completely, do that. But we're almost there. And now, so wherever you are, bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor, unless, of course, they're already there. We're going to press through the feet and we'll lift our hips up just enough to remove that support, and then lower the hips down. Now, try to resist the desire to draw the thighs towards the belly. We're going to separate the feet a little bit, and we're going to let the knees fall in towards one another to help open up through the lower back and sacrum. And then we're just going to windshield wiper the knees right and left. Because I really want to take care of the back. I don't want to do anything that disrupts that curvature in the back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to keep the feet where they are. The knees are going to drop to the right. So what that looks like is left knee drops around the right foot, or that direction. And the arms can open up wide. You're starting to maybe feel it in the left side of the lower back or side body. If the sensation is too much, take your block or bolster, slide it underneath the right thigh, or you could take it underneath the left leg or knee, and you can rest it underneath that area of the body. Now, if you're not feeling enough, you're welcome to take the right ankle and rest it on the outside of the left thigh, as if you're inviting the left knee down and away from the hip. So towards the floor and towards the front of the mat. So more body, lower back. Your option here could be you take the left hand and you can massage the areas of sensation. So for me, it's lower back, it's a little bit in the hip flexor, it's a little bit in the glute, and it's just taking care of the body. Now, if you're not up for the little massage, you can extend that left arm out nice and wide. Chin can be at the chest or over the left shoulder. And again, we are softening the legs. You're not pressing them down. We're working with gravity. And the gaze can be towards that left thumb, or eyes can be closed. A lot of these asanas that we're doing today is, when you get into them, for some people, when you get into them, you're like, well, it's very subtle sensation. But as we hold for 2-3 minutes, it could get a little bit more intense. And I'm okay with sensation that's not super intense. Right? I mean, it's like helping reset so I can feel subtleties in the body. Really slow, mindful breaths. See if you can and in pose. So if your right ankle is on the left thigh, bring that foot off the ground. Gently bring the knees back up to center. And then resituate your body. So maybe move your feet around, knees are bent, feet are as wide as the mat. Windshield wiper knees side to side just to make sure the lower back is finding its neutral. And then you're going to drop those knees to the left. And then you're going to soften for a moment and assess the sensation in the body. If there's any sensation in the knees, take your block again, slide it underneath right or left leg, whatever is going to help you support. If you're needing more, left ankle on the outside of the right thigh, and then exhale, soften. Options are the same with the arms. They could stay open up like wings. You could swivel palms up and down to get a little bit more in the shoulders if you feel like you need it. Or the right hand finds the right hip or lower back and massages the areas of sensation. You may have the awareness of right side, left side feeling different, and that's pretty common. My right side, left side is definitely different in every aspect of my body. My shoulders are different, my hips are different, my quadriceps are different. Everything on my right side is different than the left side. And it's not necessarily right side's more open or left side's more open. It varies depending on where I'm at and the injuries I've had. Again, breath smooth. We try to soften the parts of the body that aren't working. That's like fingers, toes, jaw, forehead, chest, belly. And then once those parts of the body that are softening that aren't working, you can try to go to those areas that are working. Soften lower back, right hip flexor, right hip. Maybe the front of the right shoulder or chest. I feel like we, as a collective consciousness, need more yin. But what I'm seeing is more vinyasa. Like fast pace, breathing quickly, moving in and out of asana. I got no problem with vinyasa. But I do think that we need to balance our vinyasa out with a little yin or maybe even a slower hatha. A chance to let the mind slow down. Or better yet, meditation. These yin poses are an opportunity to find a little meditation. So if you're feeling like I'm starting to feel a little something in my right knee that's uncomfortable, so I'm just going to take the block and I'm going to bring it underneath the knee. And I'm going to go back into it, see if that takes care of it. So just know that you're constantly assessing where the body is. And if there's any sensation you're thinking like that doesn't feel right, well then make the adjustment. Another option for me would be taking the ankle off of the leg. That softens the knee as well, which I'm going to do. Got 3 more breaths here. And if your left ankle is on the right thigh, bring it off. Gently bring the knees back up to center. Take the soles of the feet to the floor. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then let's take the left shin on top of the right thigh. Scoot your right heel towards your right hip. And then take the left hand to the left thigh and press it away. So I do want to do a little bit of a hip opener, and we're not going to stay in this pose too long, but I want to address the hips before we do a spinal twist. So left hand slides in between the legs. Let's pick the right foot up off the ground, and let's interlace our fingers around the right hamstring. Draw that right knee towards you so that left ankle or shin comes closer to your chest. Take your left forearm, press it in the inside of the left thigh, and then squeeze a little bit more. And then rock those legs a little right and left. Back to center, squeeze a little bit more. We're going to be only here for about a minute or a minute and a half. Sensation, left hip. And when we talk about lower back, it's hard for me not to talk about the hips, because when we're tight in the lower back, it has something to do with the hips. Almost there. Okay, so we're gonna keep our legs where they are. We're gonna unfold the fingers and we're gonna slide this left knee so it stacks on top of the right knee. So left hamstring is resting against the right thigh. We're gonna draw the knees towards the belly, and then we're gonna let those knees drop to the left. Arms open up nice and wide, chin drops towards that right shoulder. So spinal twist can be quite intense, and if it's too intense, unfold the legs so the knees are next to one another rather than left leg on top of right leg. Other options would be thighs a little bit closer or farther away from the belly, depending on the sensation and where you need it in the body. Focus on the exhalation as you surrender and let go. One more deep full breath here. And then gently bring the knees back up to center. Unfold your legs. Bring both feet to the floor. Windshield wiper the legs a little side to side and make sure you find your physical center. And then let's do the other side. So right shin on top of left thigh. Scoot the left heel a little bit closer towards that left hip. Take your right hand to the right thigh, press it away from you. So a little bit of length through hip flexor and maybe the lower back. Getting a little bit of space here. And then pick that left foot up off the ground. Take your right hand, slide it between the legs and interlace the fingers around that left hamstring. Draw that left thigh towards you. It's bringing the right shin closer, and you're going to move a little bit from side to side. Just get a sense of where you are. Sensations probably right hip, maybe lower side of the right side of the back. Options again could be flexing the right foot to support the right knee. You could press the right forearm into the right thigh as if you're trying to get that right shin parallel to the chest. And again, you could straighten that left knee if you feel like you need more sensation in the hamstring. A little bit of movement from side to side. You can use the arms to pull as far or close to you as you need. It's the sensation that kind of dictates where you go. A breath or two here, just addressing the hips so we can take care of that lower back. Arms are working because the hips are pretty strong, right? You got a lot of big, strong muscles that support the hip. It's the quadricep, hamstrings, groins, glutes. Very strong and dynamic. One more breath here. And again, we're going to keep the legs where they are. If that left knee is straight, bend it. And then unfold your fingers, slide that right knee so it stacks on top of the left knee. Thighs towards the belly, gently let them drop to the right. Make your adjustments in a way that support the spine and the sensation. The left shoulder heavy. The gaze can be towards the left thumb if that feels okay in the neck. And then exhale and relax the muscles in the spine, the left hip, front of the left shoulder and chest. And a moment here just to unwind a little bit more. I love the yoga practices that address the whole body, but I really enjoy when we target certain parts of the body. It really lets me know what kind of work I need in these regions. Like for me, my lower back is always needing attention. Inhale, knees back up to center. Unfold the legs. Windshield wiper legs side to side. Draw the knees towards the belly. Give yourself a squeeze. Rock front to back as you massage the muscles on each side of the spine. Do that 4 or 5 times. Get yourself a little bit of momentum and bring yourself all the way up to your seat. And then lengthen through torso. Hands come to heart center. Take a big inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. Nice work. Namaste. Nice job, yogis. If you like this practice, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about your lower back, please leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Take care of yourself. I love you guys. Peace.